Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Okay. Increase warp output.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
Mhm. Wir haben nämlich ein Problem mit dem Warp. Wahrscheinlich wegen diesem Ionensturm,
It
der
is
herrscht.
evident that presently the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it or can't sustain it.
Ja, das ist doch
However improbable,
der Sturm.
that appears to be the case.
Ja,
We need to know more.
hoffentlich ist der Sturm, sonst haben wir ein
Storm
Problem.
didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clearer picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Ja, herzlich willkommen zu Star Trek. Diese Folge heißt The Scientific Method. Naja, also jetzt. Diese Folge jetzt. Leute, schön, dass ihr dabei seid. Und mal gucken, was uns das hier noch bringt. Ja.
I'm setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Hey, okay. LT, vorwärts fliegen, rückwärts fliegen, okay, rechts, turn, links, strafe, also, okay, geil. Ja. Achso. Ah. Ah, okay. Aber das Schiff sieht doch gut aus, oder? Voll cool. Ja, ich fliege ja darüber. Ich möchte auch ein bisschen Schiff angucken, Mann.
Commander Westbrook, the Resolute systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Thank you, Mr. Chovak. We'll be in position shortly.
And, Mr. Diaz, do take care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Entschuldigung. Hallo?
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
Also wirklich. Da sind wir doch schon ein ganzes Stück weggeflogen. Da oben ist das andere Schiff. Von denen. Vergessen schon. Stimmt. Ja. Auf der Map jetzt hier kann man auch sehen. Aha. Oh. Also in der Mitte dieser Navigational Scan, da kann man quasi nochmal die Umgebung ein bisschen genauer sehen, dass man irgendwo dagegen fliegt.
I just don't take it personally. At least I try not to.
That's a very mature answer. Shows a positive attitude on your part. Remind me of it when I start complaining to you about the ship's new first officer.
So. Also das Fliegen ist nicht sonderlich schwierig oder sowas. Im linken Stick, da kann man hoch und runter, man kann strafen. Ja. Mit RT gibt man Gas, mit LT wird man bremsen und zurückfliegen. Ja.
This is far enough. Transporting the first probe into position.
Ui. Achso. Okay, alles gut. Das sind auch diese Probes, die wir am Anfang vom Spiel gesehen haben. Das finde ich cool, da wieder, dass die jetzt genutzt werden.
Westbrook
Ja?
here. The first probe is deployed.
Gut.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Genau. Wenn Elemente immer wieder verwendet werden, so soll es ja sein.
Problem? Don't get me wrong. Things are definitely trending up with Commander Rydek. She's put my ideas into action. And she listened to me when your life was on the line out on the hull.
That sounds like a good thing.
It is. But I'm still trying to figure out if she's right for the job. She didn't go through what the rest of us did. Still got chosen to be number one. Can't tell if she was actually siding with me, or if we just fell on the same side.
Well, yeah, but she's lucky she didn't go through what we did. You can't hold it against her.
Actually, I think I can, even if I shouldn't.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Whoa.
Oha.
All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space. We need to get another probe out there.
Aber jetzt,
2
Leute,
points of data, the Resolute and the probe. We've managed to get an interference pattern. I'm setting a waypoint to a particularly strong area of interference. We'll deploy the second probe there.
hatten die nicht inzwischen schon modernere Shuttles? Ich dachte immer, das Shuttle, das wir jetzt haben.
I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture.
Dass das quasi das alte Shuttle ist.
The captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean, if he'd said that about Chovak, sure.
Is that why you're being so friendly to me? Politics?
That would be clever, but I think you give me more credit than the captain does. You're all right, Diaz. And you've got potential. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work, and who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too.
Ja. Leute, ich merke gerade, das Schiff fliegt ein bisschen fast von alleine. Wo Gas gibt. Wo es gar nicht so viel lenken.
Starfleet ever had. Lower decks always have to fix all the problems command causes. Maybe I just save everybody some steps.
Well, don't forget about us little people when you're running things.
Of course not. You gotta remember where you came from.
Okay. Okay.
Here. This is close enough. Stop the engines. Deploying the probe. Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. Mark.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans? Anything?
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the Resolute, Otari Prime, and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
Ja. Aha. Mal ein bisschen alles durch, aber das ist ja gut.
We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more. Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
Okay, wird es ein Attack? Ja, jetzt erstmal cool bleiben.
Why would they be doing this? We came here to help these people. And now we're getting hit by some warp-killing weapon?
Now, look here. It's current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations, they line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, It's just a small part of something much bigger.
Mhm. Oh, Leute.
Presently, we don't have an explanation for how they're doing this. But one thing is clear.
Verdächtig.
This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
And here I thought the Elydians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
For all their posturing, every indication is that the Elydians are afraid of the Hotari. They didn't bring their warship as a threat. They brought it because they're scared.
From everything we witnessed, I would say that is highly likely.
But what are they afraid of?
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
She's worried that her people are being dragged into something that isn't going to end well for them. She's trying to save them.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they change their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
Das macht keinen Sinn alles, ja.
That's the thing. It doesn't make sense to bring us here. Tylus said that Galvin and Sidron have restricted access to the mines, even to the Hotari. So they don't want anybody to learn what they've found.
Then calling in the Federation is a funny way of going about it. I don't think the Elydians know what's really down on that moon either.
Major Arminta said the revolt defied explanation. That the Hotari miners somehow harnessed the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm?
Doing that is beyond even our capabilities.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
The Elydians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Das ist voll interessant, Leute.
We received an urgent call from Hotari. The Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but I have to go.
Tylus.
Can we reconnect?
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
It was hard to tell.
We have to help her.
Yeah.
Send another shuttle.
We're
or
not
maybe...
doing anything yet. Not until we know more. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Er hat's gemocht, immerhin. Er hat's gemocht, okay. Da müssen wir uns ja ein bisschen da einschleimen bei ihm.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the Resolute. But if this came from the mines, then it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against the Illydians.
Then we have to go into the mines.
The Federation would not allow that. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation. However, we could demonstrate that the Hotari have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action. Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
Whatever this artifact is may be proof enough. At least to satisfy the Federation.
Especially if we can show the Hotari are controlling the warp disruption. And targeting the Resolute.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. The mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
Covert Action. Leute. Jawohl. Geheimdienst.
As I was telling Carter, I want all the data I can get on this warp problem. And the negotiating team's shuttle has been recording data all the way back from Hotari.
Payment protocol.
Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
I'll join you and Shovak down in engineering to run another analysis after the briefing.
Okay.
I didn't like this warp problem when we thought it was some astronomical anomaly.
Was?
And I like it a hell of a lot less now that we know someone is doing it to us. How does it work? What do we even do about it?
What do you say we pull these chips and find out?
Took some damage on the way.
Okay. Oh yeah.
That ionic interference scored the hull plating. Might be some micro welds. Let's try pulling together.
All right.
Oh yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. The end.
It won't budge. Gotta be the storm damage. We need to... Welcome back. Any excitement down on the surface?
Excitement? No. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Hey, can you hand me the EJ7 interlock? From the toolbox.
I don't know what that is.
Not much use for one on a security detail, huh? Carter?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Was ist denn los?
Okay, I'll apply pressure while you decouple the panel.
Okay. Dann.
Here, I'll help.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We've got this.
Und sie hat jetzt mit der Zange wie geholfen?
Thanks for the hand.
Okay.
We have to get these isolinear chips down to engineering.
No problem. You really know everything about these ships, don't you? The tools, the systems. Like a walking Starfleet technical manual.
Well, what can I say? I'm good at what I do.
I can see that.
Ach komm.
Come on, start pulling chips.
War doch witzig. Oh, okay. Ui. Uiuiui. Okay. Echt, jetzt muss ich so rausnehmen, einzeln per Minispielchen. Okay, mach ich. Oh nein! Ich habe es nicht mal geschafft, weil ich so professional bin, den Chip richtig in die Hand zu nehmen. Oh Gott. Oh.
What's this?
Ja. Ist doch, sieht aus wie von dem Artefakt.
Kind of crystal formation?
Ui.
Whoa. This substance is a quantized spin crystallization of hydrogen, carbon, and lithium. It's emitting tetrametric pulses at an interval of 3.8422 seconds.
Quantized crystallization isn't natural. I mean, it's only theoretical as a means to engineer matter on a subatomic level.
Ja.
What's it doing in there?
Gibt's ja gar nicht. Ha. Ja, genau. Nimm ihn schön mit den Pfoten in die Hand.
Wait. Regulation 364, subsection 9.
What?
Regulation 364, subsection 9 orders that in the case of an unknown foreign substance infiltrating a sealed system, it will be placed in secure confinement before further examination. Retrieve a containment module.
Die sagte so viel, wenn sie so eine
Don't you think
Bibelstelle
we're more
zitiert.
equipped to deal with whatever this is?
No. Before anything else, this is a security issue. You don't even know what this is.
Which is why we need to study it.
Once it's contained.
Ja.
Well, if it's not natural, then someone might have put it there. It could be a tracking device, some kind of sabotage, or even a bomb.
Which is why we need to get it to the containment lab.
Come on.
I can't make an exception. Not even for you.
Also, das würde ich aber auch
I'm
sagen.
still going to report these crystals to Commander Westbrook when we send the shuttle data.
And I will inform my superiors. I'm taking this just as seriously as you are.
Ah ja, klar, Leute. Das ist
But I
selbstverständlich.
overheard talk about the warp disruption on the shuttle. Now these crystals? Maybe this situation is more than we can handle with just a science vessel.
Ja, wir brauchen die ganze
We
Flotte.
could trigger a distress call. Get Starfleet to send more ships. Or I could send a message to my old CO on the Adirondack. Get some combat-tested vessels. We shouldn't do this alone.
We're at the edge of the quadrant. Help isn't just gonna pop over like we're in Sector 001.
Wouldn't hurt to try.
You talk like you've never had your backs up against a wall before. This is Starfleet. We solve our own problems.
Ich hatte das Gefühl, die sind so eine gute Gruppe. Aber jetzt irgendwie sind die überhaupt gar keine so gute Gruppe. Ganz komisch irgendwie,
Okay,
oder?
stand back. Get this to the containment lab.
So geht die
We'll get it set up for
Geisterjägerfalle.
you. I'll let you know when it's safely confined.
Oh,
Ja.
we'll be there.
Oh,
Last thing you
was
want
schön.
is to study this down in main engineering and have it explode next to the warp core. Almost forgot.
Can't have that.
Ah, und ihre schönen roten Augen. Oh, die
For a
hat doch was.
second, I thought she'd gone cold on you.
Ja.
Like she might have changed her mind. But I guess this whole situation has her spooked.
Ich
Maybe she knows
finde
more
den
than
Charakter
us.
von seiner Freundin, der ist
Or it's
einfach
because this is all
nicht so
happening so
schön
fast.
gezeichnet. Ganz
She
komisch
usually doesn't
irgendwie.
scare easy.
Well, of course she's
Also
taking
im
it
Sinn von-
seriously, but that's her job.
Ja, nicht liebevoll
She's on
gestaltet.
duty, she's gotta be on the lookout for danger.
Yeah, but talking about sending a distress call on her own? That's going too far. She was probably just thinking out loud. I'm sure she'll come to her senses. This mission has
Wird ein
enough
Problem werden.
complications stacking up.
Now, we'll get through it. You, me, and Miranda too.
Ja, Miranda.
Commander Rydek was
Symbols
able
and
to work
legends.
behind the scenes during the negotiations and made contact with a representative from the Hotari delegation named Tylus. She mentioned an unusual artifact of unknown origin being held under tight security within the Hotari Palace, which she believes came from the mines on Tau. Now, this artifact might have a connection to the revolt, to the storm, and to the warp disruption we now know has been targeted at the Resolute. Commander Rydek, if you want to take it from here.
Of course. Tylus managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded location within the palace and sent us these scans using my tricorder. It appears to be some sort of control panel, possibly connected to the warp disruption weapon originating on Tau. Of particular interest is this symbol, which we couldn't identify the origin of.
The Federation database has records from a vast number of civilizations. If anyone from Starfleet has come across this before, the system should recognize it.
Cross-referencing with Federation records.
Ja, das macht sie jetzt live während der Sitzung.
Federation database with a 90% probability of match or higher.
Und
Select a
Klingonen,
symbol
oder?
to further analyze.
Und bestimmt Klingonen. Das sieht doch klingonisch aus, oder nicht? Ah, nee, doch nicht. Oder? Nee. Nee. Oh. Nicht. Das auch nicht, oder? Oh. Nein. Okay, weiter. Ich bin halt voll schlecht. Ich bin bestimmt schon, habe ich schon gehabt. Das ist doch auch nicht. Das ja, auch nicht. Das könnte. Gut aus. Mhm.
99.2% match.
Got it.
Ja, dreh es her. Wer ist es? Con.
So, what are we looking at?
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Khan Empire. Their civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering in the trillions.
Fascinating. The Takan were once the most advanced, most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
Is it possible the Hotari found Takan technology?
I wonder if they even know what they have.
Our knowledge of the Takan is limited. I have only encountered passing references to them.
Actually, I've heard of the Takan.
You have?
Quite impressive, Commander.
Computer, summarize the Enterprise D's discovery of a Takan outpost.
On stardate 41386.4, the USS Enterprise D, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, discovered a Takan outpost in the Delphi-Ardu system. According to the mission summary, an unbreakable energy-draining field was deployed against the Enterprise and a Ferengi ship. The Enterprise was only able to escape after negotiating their release with an entity known as Portal 63, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Unbreakable energy draining field. It starts to make sense.
What else is there?
There's a lot here. Let's take it piece by piece.
Geil.
Select the aspect you wish to learn more about.
Ja, die Enterprise. Wir wollen die Enterprise erstmal wissen.
The technology to capture and hold the Federation flagship would have to be unbelievably powerful. Computer, what else can you tell us about the energy-draining field the Takan used?
The Enterprise D was unable to break free on its own. The precise nature of the technology was never fully understood. Only that the crystalline technology used was beyond the comprehension of then-current Starfleet science.
The engineering team found a quantized spin crystal formation in the shuttle you took to Hotari. They registered tetrametric radiation coming from it.
We have Takan technology on board right now?
We might. I'll run a full analysis in the containment lab.
Geil. Also ich finde das gerade schon richtig gut. Allein schon, dass der Name Jean-Luc Picard gefallen ist, macht mich gerade irgendwie sehr glücklich. Hey. Okay.
There appears to be some sort of restriction order from Starfleet. Computer, explain this restriction.
A Starfleet directive similar to General Order 7 forbids entering the Delphi-Ardu system or attempting to make contact with Portal 63.
Starfleet doesn't throw up a no trespassing sign for just anybody.
I suppose it makes sense considering what happened to the Enterprise D.
Ich sag euch mal eins. Es gibt doch für Stellaris auch die Star Trek Mod. Das mal vielleicht angucken. Irgendwie würde mich das schon reizen, so muss man anschauen. Ja, oder?
What sort of planet is Delphi Ardu 4?
Delphi Ardu 4 is an M-class planet, a barren rocky world with little to no vegetation and frequent ion storms. The giant crystals that grow there absorb energy, but it is not understood how they do so. The entire Delphi Ardu system, consisting of 11 planets, was considered completely uninhabited until the encounter with Portal 6-3.
Frequent ion storms. That can't just be a coincidence. Someone from the Takan Empire is actually still around.
Or at least was, 16 years ago.
Computer, what other information do you have on Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire?
The entity known as Portal 6-3 is of an unknown nature. A biped humanoid, he was unaware that the Takan Empire no longer existed at the time of the encounter. He was able to control the crystal-based technology of the Takan outpost through apparent telepathic means. It was by his choice that the Enterprise was released from the energy draining field after Commander William T. Riker of the Away Team argued on behalf of both Starfleet and the Ferengi.
Telepathic control of their technology.
As I have said, they were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy.
The Elydians should have crushed the revolt. But if the Hotari have Takan technology and can control it, I see why they're willing to negotiate peace. For all we know, this could be just the beginning.
Okay.
We're up against something greater than we can imagine.
Ja, wir sollten echt in diese Mine rein.
There's only one way to find out. We need to see what's down there for ourselves.
I might be able to help with that. We've been able to triangulate the source of the ionic interference and warp disruption to a specific mine on Tau.
Na Gott sei Dank.
Engineering used the latest data from your shuttle to pinpoint its origin. There.
So we know where to look.
Commander Rydek's right. We need to know what's down there, what the Hotari are hiding, to better understand what we're up against, and to neutralize it if we can.
Captain, embarking on a mission to the Hotari moon would not be viewed favorably by either side. However, given the circumstances, we are entirely within our rights to defend ourselves.
I just want to make sure this doesn't blow up in our faces, which is why I'm thinking of sending Commander Rydek on a covert mission to Tau. Assuming you're up to the task. It would require absolute secrecy. And obviously, it's not without risk.
I'll get the away team in and out. They're in safe hands with me.
Under normal circumstances, that would be the case. But given the sensitive nature of this incursion, I'm afraid you'll have to go it alone. I'm hoping Tylus can accompany you. The priority is to avoid detection. It's a calculated risk. The last thing we need is to get caught and then blamed for violating our neutrality and aggravating an already tense situation. We can't afford any mistakes, which is why I've chosen you.
Okay.
It's a risk we have to take. We need to know what we're up against.
Agreed. And of course you'll have the full support of the Resolute throughout.
We must take every precaution.
Get in touch with Tylus and make the necessary arrangements as discreetly as possible.
Bridge to Captain Solano. The Elydians have moved additional ships to the edge of the Hotari system. Current heading is straight for the homeworld.
Understood.
Okay.
It would seem we no longer have the luxury of waiting. In that case, may I suggest you and I return to Hotari Prime? Doing so will provide Commander Rydek as much time as possible to complete her mission.
Agreed. We'll hail the Queen's delegation from my ready room. We all know what we need to do. Dismissed.
Ja. Dismissed. Okay. Oh ja, Leute. Geil. Das war's für diese Folge. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet ein bisschen Spaß. Ich habe eine ganze Menge Spaß gehabt, schon wieder. Ich finde es richtig geil, um ehrlich zu sein. Ich kann da bis jetzt irgendwie gar nichts Negatives nachvollziehen. Ich versuche das immer zu verstehen, warum die Leute das also so schlecht beurteilen. Ich finde es ganz geil bis jetzt, keine Ahnung. Aber ich muss auch sagen, ich spiele ja so Spiele nicht so oft. Okay? Wenn ich jetzt Call of Duty spiele, wird das für mich das geilste Call of Duty aller Zeiten wahrscheinlich sein, weil ich kenne ja die anderen. Ich spiele das ja nicht. Ja, und dann spielt man die Story und schaut die sich an und dann ist die. Und dann spiele ich wieder 5 Jahre keins, dann spiele ich wieder eins, dann ist wieder gut. Ja, also bin da nicht so. Ebenso wird es wahrscheinlich gehen, wenn ich jetzt FIFA spiele. Würde dann werden toll. Weil ich es halt nicht so oft mache. Normale Leute sind alles gute Spiele. Und Multiplayer, ja, muss man ja nicht. Muss nicht jeder spielen. Aber es gibt doch so viel Singleplayer wie das hier, dass ich. Das ist geil, Mann. Richtig gut. Leute, lasst ein Like da, lasst ein Abo da, schreibt einen Kommentar und drückt die Glocke, damit ihr keine Folge mehr verpasst. Und ich weiß, dass ihr am Leben seid. Macht's gut. Und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.